And welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Grand Tactician, the Civil War live stream. We are picking up our Confederate campaign, taking a look at the 1.03 update patch that's been out for a few weeks now. We're just going to continue on with our campaign. So I think we left off in like September of 1861. War has begun. We've fought a couple of battles. The Confederates have already taken Washington and are kind of fortifying in Maryland. We'll take a look at a few things. Organize the armies a little bit better. Make sure we have adequate cavalry for what we want to do. We'll take a look at maybe the brown water navy in the Mississippi River Valley and the Ohio River Valley. We're going to try a strategy recommended by one of our viewers. We'll call it the Roseannadanna naval strategy. We'll get into that a little bit later. We have a policy that we need to pick. And I was thinking we've gone pretty heavy with the military side. We're already up to Conscription Act 1 and Bounties 1. But we may want to do Industry 1. I think we'll go with Industry. Maybe we might switch to government funding after I hit play and see where our credit rating. A lot of times the credit rating will adjust after reopening the save file. So we'll take a look at that real quick here. Why don't we move forward a day? Yeah, it dropped from... It started off saying A, and then as soon as I hit play, it dropped down to the B credit rating. We have 200,000 men fielded versus the Union 141. But the Union will probably work hard to catch up to us. National morale for the Union 62, we remain at 94. So I'm wondering, actually, maybe we do government funding, or maybe I'm going to do government funding and then maybe we'll do Industry 1. Let's look at finances. We have industry set at very low. Nothing for diplomacy. Why don't we set trade war at very low? I mean, our total expenses for subsidies is actually pretty low. Why don't we put industry at very high? Ooh, wow, trade war. We can max out to 500,000. But if we're going to do government funding, might as well increase some of these other subsidies. All right. Let's review the situation in September 5th, 1861 here in Maryland. We're establishing a perimeter, trying to defend our prize, while Magruder trying to secure Annapolis. I think we're going to have to take Fort McHenry. I thought we already had taken that. Joe Johnson will help with that. I swear we had taken Fort McHenry and Baltimore. Am I in the wrong save file? Let me take a look at this really quick. Because I thought we had taken the fort and even Baltimore in the last episode. Could be wrong. I could be confusing it with another game. I hope everyone had a very good New Year. Yes, okay, so my apologies. Yeah, this looks more right. Okay. And we had done Industry 1. Yes, I had so we're currently researching Industry 1 because we had just fought a battle right out of outside of what's this town in Maryland? Elkton. Yes, we had just fought the Battle of Elkton. It looks like there's a raid. Stuart. Okay, yeah, we had ordered Stuart to raid into Pennsylvania. So yeah, I had opened up the old save file because we had taken McHenry and then moved into. We're threatening Philadelphia. All right, Beauregard's Army of Northern Virginia with 80,000 men. Ewell at the extreme of his radius right now. We had pushed Jackson's army of the Shenandoah, or Army of Virginia, across the Potomac. Looks like they're engaged, but there's no... Let's see if they retreat back. They should be retreating, actually. Yeah. All right. Union Army is retreating. Let's take a look at our army management for the Army of Northern Virginia. Joe Johnston's got a small artillery reserve. He's got one cavalry brigade, so we might want to recruit some cavalry, a couple of cavalry divisions with this army. Although you have a whole corps under Stuart, but Stuart's busy raiding. So we'll try to do this. Although they probably won't be ready for the next engagement. Let's take a look at how many recruits we have. About 15,000 volunteers to draw from, so that should be plenty to create a couple small cavalry divisions attached to each corps. We'll probably do 2 and 1. Where am I? can't even recruit that many, huh? Is that because they're... Let's try this again. I can't even recruit one. We're at a B minus. We should... below B. Ah, below B. That's why I can't recruit. Oh, we fell below B. So as soon as Industry 1 is done, we're going to research government funding 1. It's not subsidies. So supply depots are crushing our funding. We probably just, yeah, they probably supplied Elkton. Might actually fall back a little bit as I see 2 more Union Corps. Actually, they got 2 that are in retreat. So maybe we'll try to hold on to Elkton. And then we just selected Industrialization 1. Let's do government funding 1. Oh, hi, Ashley. I'm sorry. I apologize. I wasn't getting message notifications for some reason. So I was not... I apologize if I didn't see the earlier messages in chat. For some reason, I'm not... It's not popping up on my other screen. Yes, Happy New Year to all. Thank you very much. All right, now I got the chat messages. Okay. So we've got to work on this funding. We have another Union Corps of about 26,000 men. Can Jackson's 19,000 men hold them off at Hagerstown? So he's going to have to try to... We'll order Hood to kind of dig in a little bit. Welcome to the stream, Thomas. How are you doing? I hope you had a good New Year. I wonder if we need to call Porterfield back. Maybe he can support Jackson. If he came back into range across the Potomac here through the Appalachians, we can attach him to... We can try to transfer him over to Jackson's command. So we're going to attach Porterfield to Jackson. But he's not within Jackson's command range yet. So we're going to order him to move towards Jackson. That way, if the Army of the Chesapeake gives battle. We might be able to get him there in time. Magruder's got another perk. We've got Telegraph and Ambulance Corps. We can do Flying Column 1. Movement speed plus 10. Maximum supplies plus 50. That actually is a pretty decent one. Let's take a look at the other theaters of operation. Looks like the Union Army in Kentucky is digging in. Department of Ohio, about 18,000 strong. We've got Crawford and Kirby Smith, more than enough to deal with that potential threat. We are securing Louisville. Let's move Johnston's headquarters to Lexington. No, that's Harrodsburg. Cantley moved to Nashville because of possible Union threat in western Kentucky. So on recommendation of always Flying Column, Ashley Hyatt agrees with the Flying Column. So on recommendation of Roseannadanna, who often visits the stream, he had recommended to me breaking down our brown water fleet in the Mississippi into smaller contingents for better intelligence along the riverways. So why don't we create a new... Well, actually, let's go to... Ships in Harbor. We can create a new fleet. Alright, New Orleans Squadron. Alright, here we go. Okay. We have to build. Actually, I think I need to go. I need to send. So I have to send one of these ships from the New Orleans Squadron into harbor and then create a new fleet. We'll do it out of Little Rock. Where's the closest port? Maybe Memphis. Alright, and then we'll try to transfer here. Yep, there we go. So the CSS Ivy, 4th rate steamer. So we'll put 3 ships there. So that's one more new squadron. Now it's going to take time for them to organize. Let's create one more. We'll start with 3. Maybe the port of Nashville. Yeah, that way we can come up the river here. So we'll create a new fleet out of Nashville. We'll have to take a couple ships out of the New Orleans squadron. We'll do one of the gunboats, and we'll go with 2 gunboats. And then we'll go back to the Holland squadron. Alright, so now we have 3 squadrons. And then we can send 1 squadron up the Ohio to reconnaissance, and then another one up the Mississippi towards St. Louis to reconnoiter there. That should be good. That should be sufficient enough for now for what we want to do. All right, there's that Army Department of the West from the Union side that had been threatening and actually defeat us in battle in western Kentucky. But they are now giving their attention to McCulloch's army in Missouri. And we'll push Pillow towards Rolla. And then protect those depots there. And we have only 1 corps, really, about 25,000 men under Hawes. We suspect this army is about 15,000. They did suffer a lot of casualties, so. Back to Kentucky, because we might engage in battle here. Looks like the Department of Ohio is getting ready to defend. Is that Frankport or Frankfurt? Frankfurt, Kentucky. So we'll move Crawford. Let's get Kirby Smith into a closer position, so we'll get him across the river. So orders are issued. Oh, where's okay, Johnston wants to move his headquarters to Harrodsburg. So Ashley, I do appreciate you staying up again. That's you're out in Japan right now, correct? Make sure both these corps are in Johnston's range, and they are. So why don't we issue orders for Kirby Smith to engage Crawford in support? How are New Year's celebrations in Japan? All right, so McClellan with his 18,000 men, we were more than outmatching his force. And the conditions of Johnston's army here, it looks pretty good. Although, let's see, 18 hours away. So Stewart's corps, 18 hours away. Crawford will be there in 2 hours, so we'll have 40,000 infantry. Yeah, still having some bitrate issues with the stream. It's their biggest holiday. Yeah, it's pretty big here in the U.S. I'm sure it's a big deal in a lot of other countries, but like here, you know, July 4th is a pretty big deal, and Thanksgiving. But as far as pure partying goes, New Year's is still pretty intense in the States. All right. Well, we are asked to defend a position, but we have two neutral, actually three neutral objectives. So that it could quickly turn into a meeting engagement. And since we'll have superior numbers, I'll be I wouldn't be surprised if we have to go on the attack. So special food and a visit to a shrine to buy charms and pray for a good year. So it's got a little bit more, not necessarily religious overtones, but a very traditional, a little bit more steeped in tradition. Let's see what we got here. 3 corps. I'm sorry, 1 corps, 3 divisions. Now there is some cavalry brigades attached to the Smith's Corps, so we have a little bit more flexibility. We also have, Stewart's cavalry is about 20 hours away, so I don't know how soon he'll participate in this battle. Crawford comes in 2 hours from 1 hour, expected to arrive from Danville. It's not a party day like in the States. It's more formal but fun. It's almost kind of like, well, that's how I kind of see Thanksgiving and Christmas to a certain extent, as more formal, more traditional holidays here. Well, this might be an interesting battle. I think we'll take 2 corps to move down the Danville Pike. Maybe Holmes's corps to take Nevada, the objective up here. He's got a cavalry detachment, so he can, or we can just send Sibley up there himself and see what he runs into. Actually, Holmes will actually come right here. We're going to detach Sibley. And he's going to try to take that far objective to the north. And then he'll concede it if he runs into heavy force. All right, so we'll take the other two divisions, Colquitt and Zollicoffer, will march on Perryville. Holmes will guard the north part of this battlefield and see where the Union comes from the north. I think they're actually going to come from the west. We're going to try to use look for the dust trails if we can. Not seeing anything yet. Cheers. Thank you. Hope you had a nice New Year's as well. Thanks, Thomas. Yes, it was good. It was good. Spent time with my daughter. All right, not seeing any dust clouds. detach Harper. All right, I think we'll start this thing. Let's get Kirby Smith close to. So he's out of range of Holmes. We can detach Holmes though. Form up on the hills east of Perryville. I've got Holmes there. So Holmes, if the Union plops themselves up here, I want to get these victory objectives. So if we can get these, because we'll stay on the defensive. If we let the Union take these, then we have to go on the attack for sure. So we're kind of, with the superior numbers, we're going to think offensively anyways, even though we are asked to defend our position. Because we have, the only reason I think the game is doing that is because we have one victory objective taken. So we're going to press play here. And Sibley's going to scout north. We will issue or deploy scouts from Harper to enter Perryville. Oh, so this objective has already fallen to the Union. So they're there. They are behind the river, the Chaplin River. So we want to secure Crawford. Let's move Holmes up. Sibley will still go and take the Nevada objective point. Colquitt will rush to go to Perryville. And then we have Zonkofer right now is in reserve. He could even cross the river at Rochester Springs, maybe, and to get in across the river and maybe on the flank of the Union position. So here they come. They're coming after Perryville. Let's order Harper to take Perryville. So it looks like this is also first engagements for these units. All right, and then the Union already crossing at Crawford Farm. So the Union, McClellan wasting no time. Very uncharacteristic. So, but we'll be able to have a good position right here on the outskirts of Crawford in this high ground east of Perryville. All right, Wickham near Perryville. He'll actually order skirmishers out. Let's see if he can't get some skirmishers in those buildings in Perryville. Let's move Harper over here. Yeah, we got let's get our guns. Preston, Try to get up over here. Actually, we need to order him to halt. Actually, let's order the entire division to halt and reissue orders to form up outside of Perryville. Yeah, they only have 19,000. Although we're probably evenly matched right now. Oh no, Smith's Corps is 35,000. But they did get a jump on our on getting to Perryville. Looks like they'll probably get there before us. Oh, maybe not. Wickham's detachment is already there. Crawford has arrived, so now we heavily outnumber McClellan's army. We've secured Perryville as Wickham's skirmishers enter the town and start fortifying in the buildings. So let's why don't we do this? Why don't we order, let's order Zollicoffer to march across the Chaplain near Rochester Springs. And then we'll try to outflank the Union position from there. As Crawford arrives, then maybe we'll pursue the same route or reinforce Holmes over here at Crawford, because the force at Crawford looks smaller. So maybe we can, and they're across, so we can maybe try to hit the division here that at Crawford with Crawford's Corps. Call up the reserve closer. Yeah, Zollicoffer. Yeah, we're going to use him to flank. Actually, I should probably call Johnston, though. Closer to the front line to issue orders quicker. So firing across the river. Kind of got Wickham off guard there. His line is not in a very good position. Although Colquitt's division is being flanked from that, but then I'm going to flank the Union position at Crawford. Alright, so Huger's guns trying to get on this high ground to start shelling the Union position at Crawford, although they're still marching and trying to split the two divisions, Holmes and Colquitt. So we could actually send Crawford's corps straight down the Danville Pike. Alright, so Huger is firing down on the Union position. He's only got the 6-pounders. I'm going to move him a little bit closer. Union trying to push out the skirmishers in Perryville. Let's see, Sibley still waiting orders to... Is he connected? He should be detached. Alright, Pickett's division. Yeah, we're going to move him straight down the Danville Pike. He'll form up in these woods. And then he'll strike the center of the Union position here around Harmonia College. Where are those guns for Colquitt? They're firing from a weird position. Maybe he can just set up right here and just shell the Union position across the river. Alright, Wickham under fire. Union trying to storm Perryville. A frontal assault. Let's halt Walker so that he can actually support Wickham. Oh wow, that frontal assault breaks Wickham. Try to wheel DeRossi. Make them pay for such an aggressive move. McClellan acting very aggressive. We've got aggressive AI McClellan, and we're about to be flanked. Colquitt are about to be flanked. Probably should have had Zollenkoffer come in to support. I thought Colquitt would be fine, but I didn't expect such aggressiveness by the Union AI there. But he's offered his flank to us, so let's take advantage of that. Holmes going to try to order his division to hit the Union left flank now. So the Union left collapsing upon Colquitt at Perryville offers up his flank to us. And Pickett is marching down the Danville Pike. We're just going to watch DeRossi's flank there as Ransom Jr. comes in to support. Walker getting in on the left of the Rosie. Colquitt leading from the front. I think we still have our skirmishers, though, occupying Perryville. So the Union's going to have to fight building the building to drive them out. All right, Walker. They're supported well on each other's flank. It is already 4 in the afternoon, so we may see a day 2 here. All right, Wilcox will throw out his skirmishers. Well, I do have some cavalry. I have a whole corps of cavalry, but they're 20 hours away. This army has cavalry attached to most of the divisions. Like Pickett's division has Fournay and Fry. Wright's division doesn't have any, but I have Sibley, Harper. We can use Harper to try to grab those guns. Yeah, sorry about the stream quality. I test it before I go live, and it usually gives me a decent signal, and then I think just the overall constant streaming once you get started, it starts to get blurry. I can see it now. Yeah. See if there's anything I can do. Yeah, I mean, I'm not dropping frames. It's all the bit rate. Remember, Hannibal, Cav was most important for scouting, raiding, and killing routed enemies. Well, Sibley's on the flank. He's securing that victory objective there. All right, Zollicoffer's still on the move. Yeah, Wickham broke easy. Yeah, he's going to be, if he doesn't get dishonored by that performance. That is deservedly so. He wasn't holding a position on the line for hours before he broke. He just ran. All right, are these guns firing? Yeah, they are. Now they're idle. Now they're firing. So we're going to try to... We got the 6-pounders blasting away at... I can't really read the name. Churchill's brigade. Let's see if Harper can't take some of those guns with some infantry support. Although they're retreating. Casualties about even, though. 600 apiece. as they've fallen off this small hill area outside of Perryville, which should give us an advantage now, although they've secured Perryville itself. Wickham, no, he's still broken. Thought Wickham was recovering there. It looks like we still have skirmishers in the town, though. See, DeRosie suffering some casualties. So Holmes coming to support Colquitt, trying to push his brigades forward. Zollicoffer across the river. If we can get Zollicoffer behind Perryville on the west bank, it is end of the line for McClellan. Although we're starting to suffer more casualties. Probably because they have a local superiority in numbers. As we wait for reinforcements. Really need to get Holmes's division engaged. We'll order Sibley to take this river crossing and then that objective there. Daniel is engaging the Union left. We'll try to get Wilcox on the right of Daniel. Let's bring up the other two brigades from Holmes's division. Let's bring up the guns too. Good night, Ashley. Thank you for stopping in. You have a lovely night. Yes, I do appreciate you staying up to watch, but definitely if the body does not want to stay up, don't force it. Not worth it. Reynolds. Now we got Pickett's men arriving on the scene. The rack up as a total. All right, Preston firing. We need to get these other guns in a better position to fire on the Union left. Van Dorn arriving at Hope's Creek. Let's fall back a little bit here as DeRosie's starting to suffer some heavy casualties. Oh, they're running their guns right at point blank range. See if I can use Harper to harass the Union Brigade there on the flank. Really need to get infantry from Pickett. Union trying another frontal assault on our position outside of Perryville. And the Rosie is broken. We're going to have to order Walker to fall back. So it's costing them as many casualties as it's costing us, but they have less men. Let's order Brian to support Daniel and Wilcox. Why is this man still in the army? Did he actually say that? When did Lee say that? Was it before or after Gettysburg? But Pickett's coming to the rescue now. Preston's still keeping up the fire. Ransom trying to hold that our left position. Walker nervous now. He's probably going to break soon. Okay, Wright's brigade or Wright's division. He's going to have to come over here. It's only 6,000 men, but he's going to have to reinforce. That's our center now that is actually crumbling. Although we're putting a lot of pressure on their left flank. Walker's broken and running into the Union position. Let's see if Colquitt can rally. That leaves Ransom all alone. Although reinforcements from Pickett's division arriving. They're a little bit disrupted though as they try to get into battle formation. Let's see, current situation. Wow, we've suffered 3,600 casualties. Not good. Let's see. Let's get Smith back towards this tree line. Ransom will try to get to fall back. Hopefully he doesn't break. We're gonna have to, we might even have to send Preston back. We'll see how long Preston can stay in his current position and keep firing away at the Union right. Yeah, Ransom broke. Looks like they're falling back towards Johnston, though. Right, why did Reynolds... Okay. Reynolds is being very slow. Probably because they're disrupted. They were marching in column and still got disrupted in on the pike. B Jr. ordered to reinforce. The attack on the Union left is not going very well. They're starting to fall back now. Union trying to break out of Perryville now. Walker is wounded. Our first units are now behind the Union position at Perryville. But they are also disrupted and need to regroup and their cohesion. Reynolds finally in good position now. Right, Huget is able to fire. We're going to give Sturgis everything we got. So Walker or Daniel and Wilcox, another wounded officer. Oh, Colquitt is wounded. I actually have a division commander that got wounded. All right, Preston's going to hold his ground, and he forces the Union Brigade back. Finally broke a Union brigade. They were not breaking. Although we're starting to secure a victory here, but at a heavy cost. Although as a percentage of our force, McClellan is taking a much heavier beating. So Reynolds engaged. Let's get Steele on the left of Reynolds. Walker is broken and wounded. Unlimber John Jones's guns. Now Casey set up some artillery behind the Chaplin River. Preston is able to break Pleasanton, but is under direct fire from Wool. Oh, I don't know why Smith is rushing across. We're going to try to retake Perryville. You can see the Union's starting to fall back. More broken units on the Union side. So we're finally breaking their morale. We finally broke Sturgis there. So they're getting ready to retreat. And we have finally inflicted more pain than we've been given. There's almost a whole minute given to us to try to inflict that major. Oh, we're already at major victory. So 6,000 to our 5,200. We can try the assault column. Reynolds earned himself a perk. Can we get these guns? Or is that a suicide raid? Let's see if Van Dorn can take these guns. I think he did. Nice job, Van Dorn. So that was nicely done. See if we can't. There's a whole mess of Union troops trying to get through Perryville. Yep, they were aggressive though in this battle, but I think in the end they were just outnumbered too. If they can be that aggressive when they outnumber us, then it'll be a very hard fight. All right, Van Dorn's trying to take Casey's guns now too. So Van Dorn wreaking havoc on the Union gunners. Still haven't actually taken control of Perryville, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Watch this Union Brigade trying to cross the bridge here. I'm surprised that we haven't inflicted even more casualties. Sibley's going to try to attack Stone's fragmented force. I guess they still have a couple brigades that are still in good condition, trying to form a rear guard. See if Reynolds can get into attack formation. Trying to drive those Federals out of Perrysville. He's still okay, even though he's in assault column. So up to 7,000 casualties on the Union side. We're going to try to wipe... I haven't wiped out a brigade yet. Trying to wipe out some wool finally broken. Let's see if steel can't assault in the last 7 seconds. 7,500 in casualties. Stone just able to get through Sibley. I need to take those guns. Probably still a little bit too many casualties on our side I'd like to see, but in the end, a solid victory. Alright, so McClellan defeated, though an aggressive McClellan defeated. As we, it's already October 5th, 1861. Our own losses mount up to 5,600. Enemy believed to have lost 7,500. Enemy's national morale drops by 1.1%, while our military experience rises by 1.4. Oh, Colonel Smith has fallen in disgrace. Who was it that I thought was going... Who broke right away? Was that Wickham? Glorious victory at Frankfurt. 4,000 rifles, 16 guns from the field. Officer loss report. Okay, commanders reported wounded. Colquitt and John Walker. Oh, it was a different Smith. Preston Smith. Defamed. Yeah, the portrait wasn't. It didn't look like Kirby Smith. But I definitely want to replace Wickham. Was not impressed with his performance. We can replace him with Lee. I don't have Lee assigned anywhere. We'll do Seth Barton. Although maybe we'll give Lee a division command. Nah, we might. Yeah, we'll wait for a corps. When we create another corps, we'll give Lee a corps. Johnson, though, getting fame. Stats are trending down, but they're still solid. Good leadership. We'll have to replace Colquitt. Is there anyone deserving of a promotion? Ransom did okay. Kenton Harper did okay, so I don't know if we want to promote anyone from the brigade, from the division up to division command. Junius Daniel, maybe we can, let's promote him. A political general, maybe we can, from Texas. Texas support is still pretty high. Why don't we do James Deschler? Major General John Adams and Gladden are there. But I wanted to promote Junius Daniel. There was another... What was the other general that was wounded? Walker. We'll give Robert Rhodes the brigade. Alright, so we made some organizational changes there. So Frankfort, Kentucky will fall to the Union as we're going to drive McClellan out of northern Kentucky. What other towns would we have to do to get Kentucky to flip? We need Covington. So maybe we can get... Let's send Crawford up to Covington and see if he can't take it. See if we can get Kentucky to fall to the Confederates before the winter. We would have to get Columbus. So Canty, should he go back to Jackson? Let's hop on the rails and see if we can't get Canty's 25,000 men to push on to Columbus. Although we see the Union has entered into northeast Arkansas. Did he leave St. Louis wide open? There's an army of Iowa forming. Well, why don't we push hard towards St. Louis? Let's see if we can't take St. Louis. If we have to concede it, though, if there's too much force headed towards St. Louis, we'll fall back. All I really want is to get this army out of Arkansas. All right, our credit rating went up to A, so now we can recruit some cavalry for Beauregard's army. I still can't do a full cavalry brigade. Oh, because that one artillery sent us back down to B minus. All right, looks like Stuart is under threat. We're going to order him to fall back. Fall back to Frederick. It looks like there's a siege, huh? Siege. I don't know why it says island number 10. I think that's it's Battle of Hagerstown. So Hood went on the defensive posture, so that that actually forces us to. Although it looks like we'll have to assault if we want to. We're outnumbered and it doesn't look good for us here. We can try to assault and maybe hopefully be on the defensive and fight a defensive battle around Hagerstown. Why don't we do that? We should be on the defensive. All right, we have Battle of Hagerstown. It's actually starting off as a meeting engagement. So Hood's 19,000 men. Is Jackson on the field? What do we got? What's our composition here? Charles Field, Henry Davidson, and Martin Smith. Training. Still got really poor training and untrained units. And this is a newer army too. It looks like we might. Oh, that's an interesting objective. To have one way down here. We actually have a cavalry division. So we'll use Field to maybe get over here and take this objective. we're going to assume that they're going to try to take Porterstown. Don't see any dust clouds. You have only have 9 entrenchment points. And probably guns are only the 6-pounders. All right. We'll move into, the plan will be to move into Porterstown. Unfortunately, we can't really dig in, or we'll have to concede the victory objectives. But we'll order Smith to occupy Porterstown. We'll hold Davidson back. Fields will take the objective in the south at the Antietam Iron Works. Doesn't look like the Union is nearby, so we'll be able to take. Looks like we'll be able to take Porterstown without much hassle. So Porterstown is taken. Now that gives us the advantage of now just defending and holding it. Thomas likes the plan. I'm assuming that's what the thumbs up are for. I think, is that... Not seeing the dust clouds. All right, 3 in the afternoon also. Pemberton wasn't moved forward. No sign of Union troops. Actually, probably could have detached one of these cavalry to scout the right flank. We'll try to have Trappier do that. Let's halt him, and we'll counter order him to march north and over here. Union's probably coming down the Hagertown Pike. Yeah, yes, that is a nice touch with the sound effects. Do really are a nice touch to the game. I concur. Let's actually throw some skirmishers over here. We'll try to dig in if we can before the enemy arrives. Pemberton will guard the right. We're going to try to defend this. Is this the middle bridge? Yep. We'll defend the middle bridge. Can we build any more? Oh, there we go. They did cross on our right. Knew I should have had that cavalry scout to our right first. Here, let's hold up. Let's halt the division. Clark will detach and take the Antietam Ironworks objective. Walker, after halting, will march the other two cavalry brigades back north to support. We're going to have to... It looks like there's another force, though, coming down to attack the middle bridge crossing. Let's throw out skirmishers, or at least slow down. Now, it is a Union artillery battalion. Hopefully they are not supported. Now we have to shift forces. Let's move these guns to our right. So Smith's scrambling to readjust his lines. Wow, they crossed the upper bridge. They're able to unlimber and give us a salvo. And they have infantry support too. Are they able to fire? Alright, Whitfield needs to start firing. Alright, Claiborne is firing, so that lead brigade coming down from Sharpsburg, Barnes and Grant, 2 brigades coming down the middle bridge, and now we have a, I don't know if that's DeRosey or DeRiley artillery and another Union infantry brigade coming from the upper bridge. Alright, is Field ready to issue new orders? Alright, Clark should be detached, and he is. So he's going to be ordered to take the ironworks. Field is going to move back north. He's got guns too. We can definitely use those guns. All right, let's see how this develops. Our best hope is that the Union attack is piecemeal and we can address each attack on its own accord. We've already driven off this Union artillery. Wow, he just ran. I wasn't trying to order a full assault, but we got those guns. Let's turn them on the Union. Pike is going to... Very, very audacious by Pike, but nice job. He is wounded for his gallantry, though. Albert Pike. Let's fall back. Let's fall back. As let the skirmishers kind of just hold up these other Union brigades. We wiped out that artillery battery. We have Barnes is now trying to cross. Unfortunately, I've only left 2 brigades to defend the crossing. Let's move these over to the bridge crossing itself. So the rebel yell. Confederates jubilant in their assault of that Union battery. Barnes is going to have trouble crossing that bridge, though. We got some good artillery fire defending that crossing. My main concern is this right flank. Pemberton coming in aggressive, too. All right, adjust that line. Good. The flank is not in jeopardy. All right, let's get Pike over here. Antietam is taken. All right. Field still hasn't really moved very far from his position here. We need to get his reinforcements back north to us. All right, looks like he's on the move now. Keep an eye on Pemberton's casualties. He's doing all right now. Let's call back Iverson's skirmishers. Alright, so 3 Union brigades. But Pemberton has done a nice job holding out. Now he's coming under a lot of heavy fire. We might have him fall back. Pike has found some cover along the fencing here. Lomax is there to reinforce Pemberton. So we are outnumbered, so we're trying to be very selective here. We've inflicted 1,100, so the initial Union attack is a little bit blunted, but Grant is across, but not after we have broken Barnes. Make sure we are firing on Grant. So D's in a good position, and Mouton only about 55 casualties. So Grant going to come under heavy fire. And then we see, looks like they're going to try to cross at the Rohrbach Bridge also. Let's see if we can't have Clark kind of raid those Union guns maybe from behind. He will march through Sharpsburg. But we want to actually have the Union move their infantry a little bit closer. All right, Trappier's here to support. He's on the scene, so we can use him maybe to get in around the flank of this Union position. So Grant also taking fire from the flank, probably from these guns from Claiborne. So looks like he might be trying to fall back a little bit out of the range of the gunfire. He's not broken though. We've got Denver on 3 sides right now. Pemberton 170. Lomax hasn't lost very many. 81 for Pike. We're gonna move Lomax forward. As Denver kind of out of the range of our guns. Looks like Denver falling back. Lomax, for some reason, giving his flank. I think he's straightening out his line. So, yeah, he's straightening out the line. Grant's still holding the bridgehead as we have 4 more Union brigades, and now they've got their artillery reserve engaging from across the river. Looks like I don't think they're doing anti-battery fire yet. Our guns look like they're in good condition. Field and his cavalry trying to come to the scene. We have Treppier here. Maybe we can, if we can break this Union left hook we can focus all our attention back on the river crossings. Guns, guns, more guns. The gunner himself has arrived. So Trappier is going to try to keep pushing on the pressure on the Union flank there. We've inflicted 1,500 to our 400. So if we can keep that pace up, even though, let's see, we are outnumbered 27,000 to 19,000. So not the worst odds. Although this Union position, they are falling, retreating in a hurry, it looks like. We might need to send Iverson back towards the middle bridge. Although Grant's falling back, I think he's starting to waver. Yep, Grant is wavering. So middle bridge is well defended, but they're going to try to cross down the Rohrbach. Roseannadanna bringing the tactical nukes to the battle. Trying to keep up the pressure on this Union left flank. It is 6 in the evening, so we might see the resolution of this battle on day 2. I wonder if we should try to push D's a little forward to try to get some fire on Grant and see if we can't break Grant. Whitfield's guns might be in trouble. We can really, if we can get Fields there to secure our left. All right, we probably should call Iverson over to defend Whitfield's guns. Looks like Starr's going to try to assault Pemberton, though. And now he's going to get hit on the flank by Lomax. So Starr suffering heavy casualties, although Lomax starting to come under some heavy fire. Same with Pemberton. Actually, looks like Starr's turning to face Lomax now. They are starting to suffer heavy casualties. Grant is broken, so that could, we can use Mouton to kind of support Whitfield. I'm very nervous about this right flank attack now. Middle bridge is defended. I've already called Iverson back over to the left, so it's up to these 4 brigades. Although Trappier's cavalry brigade 2,400 strong, so that's huge. That's huge reinforcements to this position. Pemberton trying to hold that ground right there. It looks like he's starting to fall back. know if that's Denver or Star. That's Star that is wavering. Trappier is getting tangled up in this fencing here. All right, Whitfield is able to drive back the skirmishers. We'll deploy our own skirmishers. Although the Union commander decided to not assault with all 3 brigades on the other side of the Antietam, which that will greatly benefit of us. They're going to try to break Lomax, I think, seeing that he is the smallest brigade. Let's turn Pemberton to get them on the flank, but they're already wavering in that assault. Yeah, I did order them to dismount. Trappier. Yeah, they weren't originally dismounted, but I figured they will probably handle that fence better. And it looks like they are starting to now. Denver is broken. Well, if we can get them to retreat before nightfall, that would be great. Let's see if we can assault with Pike's brigade. Might just hold out for the... Or we can try to get Trappier into an assault position. Oh, he's stuck on the other side of this fence, it looks like. Alright, end of day. So Union, I think, saved by the end of the day there, but I think we've definitely evened the odds. Oh no, he decides to retreat, so... So nice job by Hood defending off a superior foe. And General Pike deserves a medal. Wounded in action, taking those guns away right at the beginning of the battle. So Roseannadanna, we did break down our Brown Water River fleet. Only into 3 parts for now. The other 2 are improving their readiness. We'll take a look at that in a second. Battle of Hagerstown has ended with the Army of Chesapeake retreating in panic, suffering 4,000 casualties. Our casualties were 800. Almost 2,000 rifles and 6 guns taken from the field of battle. So the left flank of our position in Maryland is secured for now. So they're forming up forming up in Memphis. I still have like a main fleet with 8 ships near Cairo. We got another 3 ships around Nashville that will sail upriver, steam upriver toward and watch the Ohio. So if we can overlap in this area here, we can keep an eye on the Union forces. Let's look at the strategic situation after those 2 battles. Union morale has plummeted to 55. Morale of armies 73 versus their 65. We still outnumber the Union force, although we are researching government funding. We keep dipping below B on our credit rating. So the question about the depots affecting finances, they do. And it's our greatest expense is our depots. Now, the game is, they've fixed it a little bit, I believe, where your frontline depots get priority for buying supplies. So they'll refill their supplies behind the line. Let's see if we can find a depot that is not near the front line. Like, even, so this Winchester depot, let's see, it's still refilling. Like, Harper's Ferry is maxed out, but they're pushing supplies towards Jackson in Maryland. You can see, like, here might be an example. Aqueduct Bridge is furthest enough away from the front lines because there's all these other depots around Washington. Like, you can see only 5 artillery pieces. Even though it's a level 2 depot, it's not refilling because armies aren't drawing a lot of supply from Aqueduct Bridge depot. But you can see Washington, D.C. depot, which is also level 2. It's got more stockpiles of resources. I think there might be, but I still think we're still drawing probably too much money through our depots in the game system right now. So I think a lot of players are asking for the option to destroy, or I wouldn't say destroy depot. We should be able to turn off depots. Like, I should be able to completely turn off Aqueduct Bridge depot. So if we let's look at the supply map too. So I'm trying to, is there a depot here at Decatur? No. So there's a depot at Nashville. Oh, that's they took my. They have the month. That's one bad thing though is. Oh, that's because Louisville hasn't been secured by us. So that Munfordville depot, because I'm not directly occupying it, it went back to the Union side. Same thing with, I think Evansville controls like deep into western Kentucky. So it's kind of weird if you need like Hartford, Kentucky is centered around Evansville. We need to take Evansville to hold Hartford without directly holding it with troops. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of tweaking that could be done with the depot system. But again, it creates some balance though, even though, again, I've read some arguments about the depot system in this time period is not, I don't know the merits of the I can't dive deeply into the historicity of the depot system for American Civil War games, but I have read in threads that the supply chain in Grand Tactician resembles more of a supply chain that you would see in World War I or World War II, as there's a much more living off the land going on in the Civil War. There was a mix of both, but there's more instances of living off the land and less dependency on the depot system. But it is the system in the game, so we got to play the game system as it is, and that's something to keep an eye on. So we'll try to keep an eye on this number. I think it's actually gone down since I fired up the game. I think it was actually at 400 million. It's down to 252 million. So again, if you're trying to hold, I would imagine if you have a lot of small armies all over the place, and you have to build a depot at every little juncture, that might draw too many resources. So that might be an inefficient way of doing depots. I guess that would be the main question. What's the most efficient way to build and design your depots? All right. Let's see here. What do we want to do next? We've called Stuart back from Harrisburg. He's got the attention of a Union Corps there. As we want him to fall back to Gettysburg, and then we'll probably have him come back into Maryland and then turn off the raiding for a little bit. But he's wreaked some havoc in Pennsylvania. So again, yeah, cavalry can't destroy. We can't destroy depots. They can damage them, which will cost the Union more resources to fix and resupply. Depots should be 2 days apart at minimum. So you think the depots, that sounds like a lot of depots. All right, Ewell's at Elkton. And the Union has retreated. There's a fort near Philadelphia, a fort near Newcastle, and a Union Corps. Union Corps here at Department of Pennsylvania has started digging in around Philadelphia. See, that's the thing. We can't resupply. See, that's another criticism of the depot system, relying too much on land transportation as for supplying your armies, where even still in the Civil War time, you were really trying to control those waterways, which is important in this game, but theoretically, I think I can just build depots through. If I want to try to push on Philadelphia, if I have a good depot system here, I should still be able to supply my army pretty well. Where in reality, because the Union naval power blockading the Chesapeake, and they could blockade the Cape, or keep supplies coming, I could not supply my army from the Atlantic like the Union could supply their armies from the ocean and the waterways. That's what really helped the Union Army keep supplies coming down these estuaries from the Chesapeake. Just create a supply chain map. Let's take a look at Beauregard's army now. Do we want to actually attach Jackson to Beauregard? No, they're still not within range because of the mountains here. We need to replace Pike, though. Pike is injured. Although oh man, he has horrible stats. I don't know if that's because he's hurt. He commanded his brigade well. Samuel Maxey, he has experience, decent stats. Why don't we assign him to Pike? Your smaller depots are positioned based on the other big depots. I build depots even in areas where no battles are happening. Yeah, like I didn't do that. Yeah, but if I suspect if I feel now I don't do it right off the bat, but if I think I'm going to fall back, I might send some army. A common thing in this Confederate campaign is to maybe build a depot throughout the Shenandoah, so that if you do need to fall back through the Shenandoah, you have a nice supply chain throughout that region. That's something that I'd like to do. So either at Stanton or one at Newmarket or both along the line there. And you capture, if you capture a depot, you capture those supplies. All right, so we got Porterfield coming over to Jackson. Can't remember. Did I transfer him over to Jackson? Yeah, Porterfield. You have 5 small divisions that do nothing but build depots and telegraphs. Do have an army of North Carolina. Let's move French's Corps. Oh, like what? So, you have like one brigade building behind the lines. All right, Canty moving. Okay, I guess we'll just order's already issued, so I guess we can play. Stewart's still trying to secure Louisville. All right, Porterfield's in range of Jackson now. Should try to take Cumberland with Porterfield. Let's see if the Army of Chesapeake leaves Cumberland. We'll try to take... looks like they've stopped there. We could send Hood forward. And then Porterfield will be there for support. So why don't we order Hood to take Cumberland? Let's see if we can't get Maryland to secede. We're back to B minus. Again, subsidies don't really... Depots are the biggest finance. Subsidies are not that much right now. I would like to spend more in industry and agriculture, but we'll do research government funding. If that helps our credit rating, we'll up the sliders a little bit more in industry. Have one division that can build depots in 10 to 15 days now, depending on location. How quickly can they build forts? Speaking of forts, we're going to build a fort defending Frederick. I want to keep my prize of Maryland. So I'm going to make sure I turn off raiding as he goes into Maryland. I hope I didn't screw that up. We definitely don't want Stuart raiding Maryland. If we want Maryland to come over to the Confederate side. We'll change them to scouting for now, but I think we'll send them in raiding again. Yeah, building forts is about 50 days, I think. I've never seen it go down that much. I was wondering if you were able to figure out a way to build forts faster. Probably need a depot in Baltimore. We've got the depot in Elkton. Although Ewell's kind of isolated now, although we'll still be able to reinforce him. And he is the largest corps. So it looks like the Army of the Chesapeake will defend Cumberland, Maryland. So we might see another battle here with Hood, unless he decides to retreat, because he is suffering. He's still got 23,000 men. Let's move Porterfield towards the South Branch Bridge. I wonder if we can find a do we have any Maryland units? Or we can try to recruit a Maryland unit. Ooh, triple C plus on the credit rating. We're not recruiting anything. How close are we to government funding? 18 days. Good question about the forts. Not like depots are. I think it goes into army upkeep cost, based soldiers' pay, provisioning, and forage. So, but if you have a fort next to a depot, so it's all kind of interrelated. So foraging though goes to your army upkeep. And other provisions and their pay. Now if there's a depot by a fort and you get like heavily garrison that fort, then and if they're drawing supplies from that depot, so if that depot keeps refilling from the supplies they use, then yes, they are draining on your finances. So, but again, if it's a small garrison, like I could probably actually remove some of the men out of Fort Washington since it's a little bit behind lines now. Yeah, the engineer perk. The engineer perk or the engineer trait? You're talking about the trait, right? We got 3,000 man garrison in Fort Washington. I'd like to move some of those men out of there. You can move the garrison to Fort McHenry. Okay, the perk. You said perk. I won't question your terminology. Did I say trait or did I say perk? I said perk. All right, we can probably transfer a brigade of infantry to someone. We can transfer them to Porterfield. Yeah, I would imagine that stuff stacks the perk with the trait. Funding one policy is selected. So hopefully that will help our financial. Oh, the union, that was union funding. Army of the Potomac on the march. We do have Colonel Pike recovering. We'll give him another command eventually here. I wonder if his stats did change. Oh, did he return to his... Why is he... His stats did go back up, though, so... I was curious about that. I was curious to see if his stats would improve after recovering. All right, Hood on the march. Jackson's army would like to take Cumberland, Maryland. Army of the Potomac looks like they're just coming to reinforce Philadelphia, as you'll just content on fortifying around Elkton. We'll let Stewart resupply. He's now starting to draw supplies. So it looks like they're still drawing supplies from Harper's Ferry. And we are upgrading that depot. And we are upgrading Frederick. I think the Army of Chesapeake might be retreating. No, they're staying put. Abercrombie is withdrawing. Jackson is at destination. Okay, that's the Union Army outside of Cincinnati as we try to occupy Covington. Although we got out of the range of Johnston, so let's order Johnston to Lexington. We want to make sure that Crawford stays within range. So cavalry definitely occupies way longer than, because it's almost occupied by George Stewart's cavalry, but it took a while. Not in this campaign. I have not built any railroads. I really focused on the manpower policy line. And the main drawback is we build a nice large army and we actually outmanned the Union force by 80 to 90,000 men, but it cost us a lot of money to supply those troops. So I did not build any rail construction. Yeah, they do, and they do take a long time. I think they probably benefit the Union the most. Just compounding their industrial might. And since you have to occupy, I was saying it might be an interesting strategy to try a test run building railroads early. Like the construction time on the railroads for the Confederates is long, 257 days, 390. I know in the Union campaign there are some rail lines that only take 150 to 200 days to complete, especially out west. Oh, we have entered St. Louis. The Union has abandoned St. Louis, and we'll take St. Louis. We will concede St. Louis for northeast Arkansas, although there's another Union army here. 26,000 in our rear. So Canty will march on Columbus. And that way we could try to fall back from St. Louis towards the Benton, down the Mississippi towards the Benton Cairo line. If they decide to get in our rear. Canty has a perk. What was that? Industry 1 the best policy? Well, industry gives you... The nice thing about the industry policy, it gives you bonus to manpower also. The main drawback is but lowers unity due to religious unrest and resentment towards slavery within the immigration population, reducing national morale by -5. And plus you need it for industry levels 3 and 4 and the abolition of slavery later in the campaign. So it opens up a whole bunch of stuff. So the Confederacy will start the campaign with more railroad lines built, and immigration from Europe increases the population within the Confederacy by 25%. Towards Minnesota. We can send this main fleet under Rousseau. We'll send this squadron towards Evansville. Right, that's what I'm saying. The trade-off, I mean, would you rather have 25% more population or that 5 morale? That's exactly what I'm saying. So it looks like the Union's content to just try to... So that allows us to... We could raid into... Deep raids into Pennsylvania. We'll definitely do at least one more raid before the winter. All right, let's see if Hood engages the Union, the Chesapeake. Army of the Chesapeake. Let's see if they retreat. Yep, they're falling back. Rearguard action, suffering 15 casualties. Delafield is withdrawing. Hood going to try to secure Cumberland. Let's see, if Covington fallen? Not yet. Well, so we're about to secure like 3 more Union cities. Kentucky secedes. Yes, nicely done. Way to go. Way to go, Johnston. You get a promotion. You get a promotion. So very nice. Now we have access to Kentucky troops. Or, I mean, we had some access, but almost 5,000 men rise up to join the cause. We've got to fix our credit rating, though. Let's take that diplomacy off. Trade war. We'll leave transportation and industry. Maybe civil order we can afford to lessen up. Canty will be at Columbus. Should be able to take Cairo too. But rain's starting to fall as early signs of winter start to creep in October. We need to get... see if we can get Maryland to switch. I think we just need Cumberland still, as Hood is trying to occupy Cumberland. That's a negative. So we'd have to get Salisbury. All right, popped up to B minus. All right, condition is sufficient. Stewart is on sufficient condition. I like his condition to get a little bit better. So we'll actually switch out. We'll have Porterfield guard Cumberland. Hood will fall back to Hagerstown. Because he can actually... we'll build a depot at Hagerstown. That way Hood's larger corps can supply a little bit better from there. Plus he'd be drawing off Harper's Ferry. I mean, the situation is pretty good. We still even have a reserve army under Price, about 10,000 men. I thought we ordered him to Richmond. So we could even try to transfer. We could transfer Price, I'm thinking. Although, it seems like the bulk of forces are still out east. As there's 1, 2, 3 corps of Union troops. We know there was 1 Union corps and moved back into Ohio. We could probably move Holland's fleet to Covington. Let's see how the Union armies out west act if they continue forward into our territory. Don't see a lot of movement, but our intelligence in that area is probably not as strong anymore. There's no military intelligence. All right, we finally got our funding 1 policy selected. I mean, we can go on to print notes. Or bounties 1. Now that's going to hurt our credit rating more. I mean, we have the advantage in manpower right now. We just taken Kentucky. Authorize Impressment Act. We can authorize the War Department to seize slaves and supplies from producers for building of fortifications, while only surplus slaves and supplies are to be taken at fair prices. It will lower support for the government in the states. It also frees up manpower, increasing the number of available recruits, and makes resupply of armies easier within the Confederacy. Number of recruits plus 10%. Cost of supplies, that might actually add a -3 support. I think we can bolster support. We'll try Impressment Act. Yeah, but there's like a lot of policies. The Confederates have half their policies affect manpower, but then that becomes a question of which is the most efficient. Because I think the filibuster one, I've tried a combination of filibuster, treaty with the natives, but without industry, and it still feels that industry one, Apostles of Disunion, which gives you Kentucky and Missouri to start. Plus, if you do Old Dominion, you have higher starting support in Virginia. Although, even without Old Dominion, you can start Virginia off at 100% support. But gaining Kentucky right off the bat and Missouri, although the support in Missouri is usually much lower and harder to maintain than Kentucky, so you don't get as many recruits or volunteers from Missouri as you do Kentucky. It's more about a support issue, I think. That's the big benefit of Old Dominion. Is, I guess, in the strategic value of Richmond, but it's more about the support. But again, if you play the game, you can usually keep Virginia support high, even without Old Dominion. We're gonna have to build some. We don't have a good supply chain. Frankfurt will upgrade. We probably should build a depot at Covington if we want to hold on to it. Actually, a fort at Covington too would be smart. So we're going to keep Crawford's Corps busy. We can maybe attach an engineer. Oh, that could be perfect for Lee. We're going to assign. Actually, we want to assign it to Corps. We could actually assign. We can try this. Oh, they won't give me Lee for commander. I was thinking about your engineering strategy, and that's fine. We have a fort and depot being built at Covington, so we're going to try to hold on to that prize. Don't see any Union armies, though, developing. They might be outside around Columbus or Indianapolis. So in St. Louis, we've taken St. Louis. That's we'll probably let's do that. Why don't we transfer? Why don't we transfer Price to McCulloch? Or actually French. We'll transfer French's corps. These are large divisions. Should probably break them down. It is done. Scouting with the fleets. It is done. it is so. So I'll bring about 43,000 men to McCulloch in the west around St. Louis. When can we expect? Oh, we're going to have to transfer the entire... Actually, let's do it this way. Alright, and it will take 20 days. So we'll actually, if we do it that way, we don't have to try. We'll just use the railroad system, and Buckner under Colquitt. We'll just actually assign to Colquitt. So it'll take 20 days for that corps to arrive out west. You got the good stuff for Christmas. That's good. I've never had, is it Bali coffee? I can't say I've had it. Where is that? Is that in Indonesia? All right, we are scouting. Could scout towards Portsmouth. We don't control Cincinnati Harbor. We'll return to port for now. East of Java. Java coffee. It all makes sense. It all comes together. All right, we got some perks to assign to. Jackson has a perk. Flying column. All right. October 29th. 1861, Kentucky has gone over to the Confederacy. Ooh, national morale on the Union has fallen to 36. I say we... Where's the cavalry? Oh, we need to send... That's what we need to do. Oh, he has lost supply because we didn't build a depot at Louisville. His condition is good. I say we raid Indiana. Or maybe Ohio's a better target. Stuart, are you ready? You're sufficient condition. I think I just sent him to raid. If that can affect national morale, I know it affects support more than anything, but we might need I can try to take Cincinnati. That might be a big but why don't we get our supply situation improved? I think we have a wounded officer. says unhappy. Someone's unhappy in this army. Many soldiers in this unit are unhappy with their leadership, and many are deserting. Veterans are happier with commanders that have high fame. Disabled soldiers currently wounded 3,000. Smith, Stewart, Crawford, they're all pretty good fame. Yes. So logistics, and that's what, yeah, we are going to fix our logistics here. We're upgrading Frankfurt Depot. We should probably upgrade. We are upgrading Harrisburg. So that should, once those are upgraded, that will greatly benefit our logistics in Kentucky. Let's see. Canty is away from his base. We should probably build a depot at Columbus. B+, so we can start building more units too. Holland's at destination. That's interesting. They didn't, even though I transferred the corps out of Price's army, he still has a command. Union passes Tariff Act. Yeah, Johnston's army in Kentucky is starting to get low on supply. Their condition is still good, though. Kirby Smith already entering winter quarters. The Pretenders? Are you talking about the band? Talking about the music band? The Pretenders? The cheapest river ship in CSA is Gunboat Tender. I should probably build a small army in Memphis just to kind of keep an eye on what the Department of West. Actually, it looks like they've moved north a little bit. We'll move this small river fleet over. Yep. So we got some intelligence. They are moving up north. Let's make sure our front lines look like. Supply. So supply actually is not so good in St. Louis. We just took the city, so that's part of the reason why. Oh, so we are kind of cut off, though. But we'll fight our way out if they try to surround us at St. Louis. Chrissy Hines and the Pretenders. I mean, actually there's a little. Yeah, they're popular. They're not super popular. I mean, there's some pride that she is an Ohioan, but she's also kind of ripped Ohio in the past too, so I don't think there's any hatred towards Chrissy Hines and the Pretenders, but her song Ohio, or Wait, I don't know if it's Way to Go Ohio or if she named it Ohio like the other song Ohio. I don't think there was a lot of love for it because it's not an endearing song. Welcome to the stream, Michaela. I did see you posting earlier. We're considering I live in Ohio, or you live on the Ohio. You're in Pennsylvania, though. So I'm from Ohio. Where's Beaver Country? I'm kind of content. I'm kind of content just kind of sitting on winter quarters, and we'll try to figure out our logistics. I think logistically, we're doing all right in Maryland. Condition is good. Joe Johnston is trained up to regular. Magruder's men are still only poor, but he's in really good condition. Jeb Stewart. That's what I want to do. We'll do some winter raiding. His condition is now good. Stewart will be ordered to do more raiding into Pennsylvania. Maybe he'll raid down this railroad line. Just north of Pittsburgh. All right. Yeah, I'm outside of Cleveland. Not seeing a lot of activity by the Union Navy. We've lost contact with the Union armies in the southwest Missouri region. He didn't go further south, did he? All right, George Stewart, we'll have him fall back to Frankfurt just because his situation has deteriorated. We want him to get to a supply base as they're building up the supplies here. I did not have him build up supplies in Louisville. If the Union strikes at Louisville, Johnston will attack. So November 15th, 1861. All right, so it looks like McCulloch's army is in good condition in St. Louis, although condition alert. But they're in good condition, so I don't know if that's just they're still recovering from an earlier bad condition. So we have a lot of recruits. We should be building some more units, although we're still at a B rating. The Union's not pushing hard on their recruitment levels. I mean, they just took tariff policy. Let's find a decent administrator. See, Magruder. Kind of want to create a army to start recruiting over the winter, but we'd like to have a good high administration general that we can maybe promote. Look at Jubal early. So we could probably promote early. We'll reassign Walker a new division. And then we can probably replace Price with Early. So Early will take over an army command, and we'll try to recruit some men, and he'll be tasked with training them over the winter. Yeah, I don't like Price as the Corps commander either. Let's find another brigade commander for Donavant. We'll do Fournay. Pike reassigned a command. I don't mind that it's not snowing hard. I don't mind the cold. But the snow it does make it worse in my mind. I'd rather, if it's just cold and nice, I can deal with that. But at least if it is going to snow and it's cold, it's almost better to be in the 20s and not in the 30s where it's wet and slushy. Alright. Why doesn't it show the army command? I'm confused by this. There we go. Alright, some 7,000 recruits recruiting around Richmond. Early is tasked with training them. Trent affair fires. I mean, our victory cider is way in the red now. Oh yeah, we let George Stewart's condition really decline. All right, Stewart now drawing in supplies, so we'll get his condition back up. All right, we're building a depot and fort at Covington, while Crawford enters winter quarters, although he's not supplying that well. Why don't we upgrade that Covington depot? Well, things are looking a little rough, though, in Lexington. All right, Hawes is in good condition. Actually, Pillows, we want to raid into Illinois with Pillow. All right, we'll send the fleet towards Pittsburgh. Yeah, because there was that army in Ohio, and he is not to be found anywhere now. So they could be trying to secure Western Virginia, since I've kind of conceded that by pulling Porterfield back to help Jackson out. Looks like the Union might be inching towards Ewell. Let's see if we can't move Johnston closer so that he can reinforce quicker. All right, Confederacy impressing supplies and slaves. It is clear right now. But yeah, it looks like they're going to try to hit Ewell. It looks like we should be able to fend off this attack by the Union at Elkton. Yeah, Joe Johnston only 4 hours away. So we'll have some 60,000 men and 80 some guns to confront their 44,000. And then we still have Magruder and Stewart's cavalry, although far away. And hopefully we should be able to fight a defensive battle. Well, we'll leave it here, and then on the next stream pick up at the second battle of Elkton, I imagine. So we'll take a look at that, and we'll start the next one off on that battle. Thanks for joining the stream today, and I appreciate all your time and joining. You have a lovely day. We'll see you on the next one. I have scheduled it for Thursday, so check back Thursday. As of right now, it should remain the same. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.